In this video, all students will be able to write standard form equations from a word problem. Number 1. Miss K has hecka apples and oranges. Together, she has 10 pieces of fruit. We don't know how many of each type of fruit Miss K has, but we do know that there are 10 pieces of fruit total. So maybe it's 5 of each. Or maybe it's 9 apples and 1 orange. Maybe she has 3 apples and 7 oranges. We don't know. When we don't know something in math, we use variables. So for this example, we can use x for the number of apples and y for the number of oranges. They represent the number of each fruit since we don't know exactly how many of each she has. All we know is that these two numbers add up to 10. We know that if we take the number of apples and add it to the number of oranges, we'll get 10 total. Therefore, x plus y equals 10. That's our equation for number 1. Please notice, y did not represent a total here. In fact, we know the total. In this equation, x and y both represent two different types of items. Pause this video now and get caught up on number 1. For number 2, we're going to play off the same situation. This time, imagine you are buying the apples and oranges. Miss K has hecka apples and oranges. The apples cost $1.50 each and the oranges cost $2 each. She spends a total of $15. Again, in this problem, x represents the number of apples and y represents the number of oranges. We don't know how many apples she bought, but we do know that each apple costs $1.50 each. We don't know how many oranges she bought, but we do know that each orange costs $2 each. And when she went to pay for everything, she paid $15 for all of her fruit. To be clear, there are a lot of different ways that this could happen. If Miss K bought 2 apples and 6 oranges, the total would be $15. If Miss K bought 6 apples and 3 oranges, the total would also be $15. Or maybe Miss K just bought 10 apples. In any case, we need to write an equation for all of these possibilities. So let's see. We know she spent $15 for all of her fruit. So how can we get to that total? Well, if we add up her apple total with her orange total, we would get her fruit total. How can we represent the amount she spent on apples? They're $1.50 each, so we can use the expression 1.50x or 1.5x. This is her apple total. How can we represent the amount she spent on oranges? They are $2 each, so we can use the expression 2.00y or 2y. This is her orange total. These two should add up to make $15, the $15 that Miss K paid. Therefore, 1.5x plus 2y equals 15. This is a standard form equation. Again, I want you to notice, y did not represent a total here. We know the total. In this equation, x and y both represent two different types of items. Pause this video now and fill in your notes for number 2. Number 3. In other parts of the United States, it has been flooding. So before evacuation, Emily went to Blockbuster and rented movies for $6 each and Wii games for $3 each. In total, she spent $30. I want you to think, in this problem, what does x represent? What does y represent? If you're stuck, here's a hint. What are the two items in this problem? Our variables need to represent two items that we're missing information about. Pause this video and fill in what you think x and y should represent. X represents the number of movies that Emily rents. Y represents the number of Wii games that Emily rents. Please note, saying movies and Wii games is not sufficient. What about the movies? What about the Wii games? It's how many of each she rented. So again, X is the number of movies that she rented, and Y is the number of Wii games she rented. So, returning to the word problem. If Emily spent $6 on each movie and $3 on each Wii game for a total of $30, what equation can we create? The expression 6x represents the amount she spent on movies. The expression 3y represents the amount she spent on Wii games. Altogether, she spent $30. So our equation is 6x plus 3y equals 30. Pause this video now, get caught up on number 3, and then try number 4 on your own. Afterwards, click play to review your answers. In number 4, X represents the number of hours that Andrew works at job number 1, and Y represents the number of hours that Andrew works at job number 2. The equation for number 4 is 6x plus 10y equals 366.